Hello and welcome back. It is Kyle, and today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Today in Indiana is primary day. So make sure, actually by the time you're seeing this, it's going to be too late. But I hope everybody who had the opportunity to vote today took that opportunity to go vote. I do not plan on discussing politics on this channel, getting into any politics. So this is about as far into the political spectrum as I'll go on this channel. If I decide ever that I want to discuss politics more than what I'm doing today or on election day, I will just create a whole nother channel for that, because this is not a channel for politics. I know there are a ton of people who hate that, and I'm not about that crap. That being said, I am highly political. I will let you know that I am a pretty far left-leaning Democrat, so if that scares you away from this channel, sorry, goodbye. Hopefully you stay around for me. But with that being said, I will say that being a left-leaning Democrat in Indiana, which is pretty far right-leaning, days like today absolutely highlight how bad things are for my party in this state. For the primary, in my little election area here, there are only 2 pages on the ballot. In the entirety of the second page, there were no Democratic candidates for any of the roles that were open for election. All of those, with maybe one exception or two, have plenty of Republican candidates for them. We just literally do not have Democrats running in our election, so it makes sense that Democrats aren't winning the elections that they aren't running in. But that is a problem. Even if you are a Republican, that is still a problem for you, because when you have parties running unopposed, no matter what party they are, that limits the people's ability to choose who they have represent them. You need a choice. Unfortunately, this day and age, we have really 2 main parties. As much as we'd like to allow the other parties to participate, it would take an absolute miracle for them to garnish enough votes to even come in second place, let alone win. That is something that I hope to see change in my lifetime, but seeing how the U.S. works, I am very doubtful that that will be the case. I would love to see an actual presidential election, or really any election, where you aren't beholden to old guys fighting about the same thing over and over and over again, that don't listen to any of the things that you actually want them to listen to. But okay, enough of that. Sorry. Again, you'll see this twice, today and then on or leading up to actual election day, because again, voting is important. End of that conversation. So I am on my way now to Walmart to pick up some groceries. Like I said yesterday, I have changed my diet plan up, and using numbers that are created by doing math that the experts have given to use, my caloric limit for the day, for every day, based on my goal weight of 225 pounds is 2,700 calories a day. I want to stay at or below that many calories a day in order to eventually hit my weight loss goal of 225. And the further under that 2,700 calories a day I get, the quicker I will reach that goal. There's also a protein goal. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I'm using MyFitnessPal to track everything, and it has those numbers in there. I did tweak or allow the app to tweak the numbers from what they gave me, because basically you take your goal weight times 0.6, and so 225 times 0.6 is around 170 grams of protein a day. And again, I'm just trying to do that from memory, so feel free to do the math on your end. The numbers don't matter, and you'll see why here in a second. So I have to stay below 2,700 calories and still hit at least that, whatever that 170 grams of protein is a day. Keyword there is at least for the protein. So with the MyFitnessPal, it has increased that amount of protein because it wants me to get more of my caloric intake from protein and less from carbs. The other math I don't think it factors the carbs into it. It's just like, you need this because your body needs to be able to still create muscle, not burn your muscle as you're losing weight. So the math inside the app has me hitting that caloric goal, but it also has me exceeding the protein because it's spreading the calories out 40% to carbs and 30% to both protein and fats. And that's a whole nother calculation there to figure what that is, because it's not just taking 2,700 times 0.4 to get your caloric count or grams of carbs allowed or anything like that. You got to do something, and then you got to divide it by 4 or multiply it by 4 or something stupid. The math is all there. I don't have to understand the math. I just have to use the math as I'm being told on how to use it. So that's what I'm doing. But in order for me to hit my goals, I am trying to record as much of my food and drink intake as I can in MyFitnessPal to make sure I'm tracking everything accurately. And that includes literally measuring out things. So like yesterday I had cottage cheese, something I don't normally eat because I find it absolutely disgusting. The texture is terrible. The flavor isn't bad. And then when you blend it up and add other stuff to make like a dip that is phenomenal, I can handle that. There's a whole TikTok guy dedicated to doing that sort of stuff. I forget his name. I'll add him later in some other video when I make some of his stuff. But cottage cheese is a big one. It's high in protein, low in calories. It's pretty good for you. My brother's big into it, and I just can't get into it. But yesterday I had some. A serving of that is half a cup, so I got out a half cup measuring cup and measured it out. My brother eats that with wheat thins. Wheat thins I love. I could eat half a box of wheat thins at once, and we get the party size or family size box, whichever is available to us. But yesterday I counted out the number of crackers for a serving. So I was counting and recording and measuring everything I could. And then I got to supper, and supper, I had no good way that I know of yet to actually calculate everything for what I ate for supper. I had 2 baked potatoes, which were different sizes. On the baked potato, I put some butter. I didn't measure it out. I put some cheese. I didn't measure it out. I could measure both the butter and the cheese. In theory, I could also weigh the potatoes beforehand. I'm not trying to do that. That's way too much. I had some bacon bits. I could have measured those out as well. And then I come to the steak. I have no idea how much steak I had. I had half of a New York strip, but I don't know what that is portion size, nor do I know any of the details, the macros for that. So yeah. So my goal today when I go to the store is to get stuff like a 3-pound roll of hamburger, a 1-pound container of ground chicken, a 1-pound container of ground turkey, something like that, where it comes in a package and I know the actual weight, and then I can calculate how much of everything is in that entire package. Then when I cook that, I can take the new weight that's left over, and I know that that weight left over now has all of the macros recordings for what it was before the cooked weight, and then I can make my portions based off of that. So if it ends up being that, the ground beef, when it's finally cooked, ends up being 100 grams of beef total, and the pre-cooked, the weight said that there was 100 calories in the entire thing, I know that each gram would be 1 calorie. So if I'm doing my splitting up and I do 25 ounce or 25 grams of beef, I would then have 25 calories in that serving. That sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into too much detail, but you get the point. If I measure everything before I cook it, and then measure the weight of stuff afterwards, and portion it up at that time, I should be able to get a better, more accurate reading there. The problem arises when it's not stuff that's packaged with weights already. So like, if I buy a package of steaks, or we go to a butcher to get some of our steaks, they're weighing the steaks, but it doesn't come with like a nutrition label on there. It doesn't say, oh, 4 ounces of this steak has this many calories. So that's where I get into trouble. So that's my goal. Get some healthy stuff, start doing a better job tracking it, try to do better, and then move forward from there. I will say I did not have any fast food yesterday, nor have I had fast food today. And as of right now, it's about 3:15 in the afternoon. I've only had 10 calories total. So I told you yesterday, I had a headache, and I think I found out why I had a headache. I had an energy drink and a second energy drink back to back when I got to work for breakfast, which was a total of about 300 whatever units of caffeine, milligrams, I think is what it calculates in. 300 milligrams of caffeine, which for me is quite a bit of caffeine. Normally I drink like Mountain Dew, which has, I think, a lot less than that. I could be wrong. I could be talking out my butt here, and maybe that's not the reason. But I didn't do that this morning. I had one energy drink, a 12-ounce can of I don't even remember what it is. It's Celsius, a 12-ounce can of Celsius, and no headache today. So that's a big win. But we are coming up on 14 and a half minutes. And I'm parked and I need to go inside the store. So I'm going to go and stop and say goodbye. Probably will not update later tonight. So take care. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.